Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're unpacking exactly why Dubai is engineering a massive 4.5% economic growth rate for 2026. We're going to dig into the hard economic data, the massive capital flows, and the hyper-futuristic infrastructure projects that are turning some very ambitious projections into concrete reality. Let's jump right into it. 4.5%. This is the absolute anchor metric for our entire analysis today. It's not just some arbitrary target. It's a very specific number that tells a fascinating story about an economy in rapid structural acceleration. Now, this forecast comes straight from Emirates NBD research. And the crucial takeaway here is that this 4.5% rate doesn't just match their growth estimates for 2025, it actually blows past the global growth averages reported by the IMF. It's a calculated outperformance backed by some incredibly solid fundamentals across both the public and private sectors. To really understand the anatomy of this growth, we're going to deconstruct it into 5 key pillars: the growth engine, capital and wealth, innovations in urban mobility, the 2026 business ecosystem, and finally, real estate and the future outlook. Section 1, the growth engine. Let's unpack that 4.5% forecast. We have to start with the foundational economic data. In the first half of 2025, Dubai's GDP hit a staggering 241 billion dirhams. That is a 4.4% increase right out of the gate. And if you zoom in on the second quarter alone, it jumped 4.7% to 122 billion dirhams. We're also seeing the S&P Global Dubai Purchasing Managers Index, which, is a hugely important indicator of economic health, consistently staying well above the expansion threshold. So what does this all mean in plain English? It means rising new orders and a private sector that is absolutely brimming with confidence. Moving right along to Section 2, capital, wealth, and regulation, the foundations of 2026 growth. The real question here is, where is the capital actually coming from to fuel this 4.5% growth? Well, Dubai currently manages over $1 trillion in liquid investable wealth. But get this, the DIFC Family Wealth Center alone manages $1.2 trillion in global assets across more than 1,250 family-related entities. To put that into perspective for a second, that is roughly equivalent to the entire GDP of some G20 nations concentrated entirely inside one city's wealth center. It is literally unprecedented. So how exactly do they attract and manage all that capital? It's all about transforming from a lifestyle destination into a structured financial fortress. They utilize common law frameworks, which lets these massive family funds set up lasting capital structures. You pair that with pro-growth, totally predictable regulations, and you drastically lower the risk for cross-border businesses trying to enter the market. Plus, the DIFC now employs about 44,000 professionals, creating an ecosystem where companies can raise funds faster than ever. Add in the fact that 84% of CEOs are feeling highly confident thanks to AI and digital infrastructure, and it's crystal clear why foreign capital is actively driving that 4.5% growth. Now, here's a stat that might actually surprise you. Family businesses drive a massive 60% of the UAE's GDP. They also employ around 80% of the workforce. Why is this so crucial for our 2026 forecast? Because family wealth acts as patient capital. It creates a culture of long-term investment and stability that's honestly pretty rare in today's hyper-transactional global markets. It is the absolute perfect bedrock for small and medium enterprises to set up and scale. Section 3, innovations redefining urban mobility, the kinetic drivers of the economy. By 2026, mobility in Dubai is getting a complete rewrite. We're talking vastly faster logistics, premium transit, and incredible supply chain upgrades coming online. Just consider the sheer scale and speed of these 3 massive innovations: the underground Dubai Loop, aerial transit with Joby Aviation, and the expansive Etihad rail network. It is literally a multi-layered approach to transit. Down below, you've got the Dubai Loop, an all-electric underground system moving at 160 kilometers per hour, pushing 20,000 passengers an hour. Built in partnership with the Boring Company, it's essentially a giant test bed for future mobility tech. And then up above, Joby Aviation is pioneering electric air taxis, launching commercially in 2026. You'll be able to hop on a flight connecting the airport, Palm Jumeirah, and downtown at speeds over 300 kilometers per hour. Grounding all of this futuristic tech is the Etihad Rail passenger service. Cruising at 200 kilometers per hour and linking 11 cities and regions across the UAE, it's expected to carry over 36 million riders a year by 2030. This is a massive national backbone. If you are a global innovator setting up shop in Dubai, this rail network is your dream gateway to seamlessly scale your operations across the entire country. Section 4, the 2026 Business Ecosystem. H1, Expos and Networking Events. So, all of this capital and advanced infrastructure, it culminates in a wildly active business ecosystem. Just consider the sheer density and variety of these expos happening early in the year. You've got Gulfood bringing in over 8,500 exhibitors, PropTech Connect focusing on AI and real estate, Dubai AI Week pulling in 30,000 participants, and GSEC Global hosting 25,000 professionals for quantum-ready cybersecurity. This is highly curated global networking. This is exactly where the cross-border deals are forged and where that 4.5% growth materializes for startups on the ground. A perfect example of this density is the Dubai FinTech Summit in May. Hosted by the DIFC, this isn't your average trade show. It is an intense gathering of finance ministers, central bank governors, and heavyweights like the IMF and the Institute of International Finance. We're talking over 50 major fintech companies, including players like Ripple and Finastra, all in one space. It absolutely highlights the sheer institutional depth Dubai has built. When you consider the sheer volume of global policymakers and attendees converging at these events, it becomes so clear why establishing a physical presence in Dubai for 2026 is a total game changer. It accelerates your market access and relationship building in a way that running a remote operation simply cannot match. Finally, Section 5, Real Estate and the Future Outlook, the ultimate proof of market vitality. Let's look at the climax of all these economic drivers. By the end of 2025, Dubai recorded an unbelievable 917 billion dirhams in annual real estate transactions. That massive volume was spread across more than 270,000 individual deals. It is a staggering historical milestone for the city. And to really put that 917 billion into perspective, it practically puts them right on the doorstep of their 1 trillion dirham goal. Now, here is the kicker. That 1 trillion mark was the target they originally set for 2033. They're hitting so incredibly close to that mark, almost a full decade early. If you want concrete proof of long-term investor confidence, well, there it is. So, bringing it all back together, from the $1 trillion of institutional wealth managed in the DIFC, to the flying air taxis, right down to hitting those massive real estate goals a decade early, it's like a giant puzzle where every single piece fits perfectly. All of these sectors are meticulously feeding back into and actively driving that 4.5% GDP growth forecast for 2026. The underlying philosophy driving this entire economic engine is perfectly captured by His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum. He says, "In Dubai, we do not wait for change, we make it. We transform dreams into a reality that speaks the language of leadership." Which leaves us with one final crucial thought. The patient family capital is waiting. The pro-growth regulations are locked in. The hyper-futuristic infrastructure is coming online, and the global business ecosystem is ready to engage. The momentum isn't just coming, it is already here. The only question left is your business ready for Dubai 2026? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I hope this gave you a clear, exciting look into the forces shaping this phenomenal growth.